Hey puzzle friends, how's it going? Welcome back, or if you're new, I'm Gibi and welcome to my channel. This is a place for anyone who loves puzzles, whether you're new to puzzling or you consider yourself an expert. In today's video, I thought we'd go through this recent haul of puzzles that I got from Cloudberries. So for Halloween, they were having a buy one, get one 50% off sale. So of course I jumped at the chance to grab a few that I have been eyeing off for a while. There's some older ones and some new ones. I've done Cloudberries before and I really enjoy the variety of like their artwork and designs. Like they're pretty colorful and interesting. And of course I really love their piece quality. I just find it just having a really good fit and a good feel and just an overall pleasant puzzling experience. So yeah, I'm excited to have a bunch more to add to my collection. The reason why I end up getting it from the website and not somewhere else is just because they're pretty hard to get in Australia, and the places that do have them tend to have like really older styles, like some of the more original styles, and they tend to be quite overpriced. So yeah, so definitely thought it was a good opportunity to grab them off their website while they were a good price. So in a minute I'm going to go through the ones I got, and then I'm going to pick one that we can like unbox and have a look at sort of what's included. And then I'm planning to piece that one together, so that should be fun. So yeah, let's get started. So let's go through all the puzzles I got. So the first one is origami, and this one I believe is like one from their very like original first collection. So it's been out for quite a while and I've had it on my wish list for ages. For whatever reason I just never managed to pick it up until now, so I'm super glad that I did. Yeah, definitely I really love the sort of simplicity and elegance of this one. It's sort of really just simple but still very like colorful and like eye-catching, and I love that it's paper, like a sort of photo of paper cranes on strings. I actually used to do a lot of origami and still have a lot of my origami papers stashed away, and I really love Japanese culture, so yeah, this one really speaks to me. So super glad to have this one in my collection. Next up is one that I believe is fairly recent. This one's called Epicurean, and I just really love the sort of detailed, beautiful illustrations and the sort of like all the interesting colors used. Like it's colorful without being super bright and in your face, so it's sort of more muted and subdued tones of color, but it's still very, to me, quite colorful and pretty. So it's sort of like what looks to be like a dinner table setting with lots of different variety of dishes of different types of food set out, but there's still like a stack of books and vase of flowers and a fruit bowl, and yeah, it just looks, I don't know, lots of interesting details. It's a bit sort of quirky and offbeat, but yeah, I really like it. It's really pretty, and so yeah, definitely looking forward to putting this one together too. Then next up, kind of speaking of colorful and in-your-face puzzles, this is one of them. So this is hands, and yeah, so unlike the Epicurean, it's quite bright and like very bold, and yeah, I really like how the sort of simplistic nature of all the hands and illustration in it. It kind of reminds me of like those shadow hand puppets you would do, or your parents would do for you as a kid. So yeah, I just think it's really cool. And I love all the sort of objects they're holding. I feel like the hands in the background colored squares are really simple, but then a lot of detail has been put into each of the little objects that the hand is holding. So I think it's a peony flower, and like the butterfly, they like have a lot of detail in them. So yeah, it's really bright and colorful and fun, but also detailed and beautiful as well. So yeah, I'm excited to have this one. And then I think this one, Dreamscape, came out around the same time as Hands and Epicurean, so it's fairly recent as well. And I think it's no surprise that I picked this one to add to my collection because it, consists of a lot of rainbow gradients. So of course it really caught my eye when I saw it, and I knew I had to have it. So I just think it's really pretty, and yeah, it's sort of got these shapes like an oval and a square, which kind of have like, looks like sort of alien planets or something. Like it's got these sort of very futuristic fantasy sci-fi flowers and hills, and yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's got like little flowers and things So I guess dreamscape's a good word. Yeah, it sort of makes me think I'm on some alien planet or something like that. So yeah, it definitely looks very cool and interesting, and yeah, really pretty. So excited to be doing this one sometime. And then the next one, which I think is a little bit similar to this one actually, it's called Chromatic, and it's a bit older than the Dreamscape one, I believe, but has to me like a kind of similar feel. So probably because it's sort of this, again, like a kind of abstract design and very dreamlike and futuristic and fantasy, and it's got, of course, rainbow gradients in it. Yeah, so it's all sorts of odd shapes. Yeah, I guess abstract and surreal is sort of probably the best way to describe this. And I kind of like that it's got like a darker section and a lighter section of the puzzle, so makes it kind of interesting. Yeah, so that one should be pretty fun to do as well. It looks like it might be quite tricky as well, like a lot of detail in there, and I don't know if you can necessarily tell when you're doing it which side your gradient's going to be on. So yeah, I think it could be quite challenging, this one. And then the last one I got in this haul is also one that's been out for a little while. This one's called Skyline, and yeah, again, I just love the sort of contrast of the dark background and the bright, beautiful colors in it. I don't know if it's Hong Kong or not, but it kind of reminds me of Hong Kong. Yeah, I stopped over at Hong Kong once on my way traveling somewhere else and got to spend the evening there, and yeah, it really makes me think of that because it's sort of got, I believe it's called a junk, these sort of old traditional style boats, which I think are in Hong Kong. I think I remember seeing them. And then of course, you know, that kind of interesting mix of that traditional style boat with this like very futuristic sci-fi bright like modern buildings, this sort of cityscape, which I think is really cool. And then of course in Hong Kong they have like the nighttime laser show, which this reminds me of. So yeah, I think that should be really fun and cool. So yeah, I don't know, oh, it's got this tower here and I don't know what it's called, but I have a feeling that might actually be Shanghai, but don't quote me, not the greatest at geography. But yeah, so I'm not sure if it's like an actual city or if it's sort of just a sort of like mix or inspired by like places like Shanghai, Hong Kong, that sort of thing. Definitely feels like something like one of those maybe. So yeah, I really like it. I have heard from other people or seen online that this is quite a difficult puzzle because although the cityscape is fairly reasonable and easy to put together, the dark background, sky and water is like pretty tough apparently. So yeah, so I guess something to keep in mind when doing this puzzle, but it hasn't put me off from getting it. I still think it's a really beautiful puzzle and just really glad to have it in my collection. So yeah, looking forward to that one too. So in a minute, I'm going to pick one of these that I'd like to piece together. But before we piece it together, I think it'd be cool to just unbox it and just have a look at sort of what's included, what the pieces are like. I mean, I already know what the pieces are like, but I guess, you know, just in case you haven't seen or done any Cloudberries before, I think it'd be cool to just have a quick look. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I've decided on hands. I just thought it looks like a really fun and vibrant puzzle to do, and kind of I think I have the feeling it's going to be fairly easy to put together just because it's sort of broken up into these I guess rectangle distinct sections, so I'm hoping that'll make it a bit quicker and fairly easy to do. I could be wrong though, been wrong before, but either way I think it'll be good fun. So let's get into unboxing it. So it comes in a really nice sort of sturdy box, like square. Yeah, it's fairly sort of a simple, I guess elegant, stylish design. So yeah, the front's very simple, just has the image and then the name and the amount of pieces. So it doesn't even have the logo on the front. And then on one side it's got again the piece amount, the piece count I should say, and the name, and it says poster puzzles. For whatever reason, I think all of their puzzles are called poster puzzles. I'm not really sure why, but cool, okay. And then, yep, the same info is repeated on that side and that side. And then the only different side, which is the only side that has their logo actually, is this one, which has like barcode and like printing info and where it was made, which is actually in the Netherlands, but this is a UK company. So I think it's designed in the UK. So yeah, Cloudberries. And then, yeah, has like, I guess the artist or who designed it. And the size, sorry, people who need inches, it's only in centimeters, which is 68 by 48.5 centimeters. So yeah, all right. So also, from experience, these look pretty elegant. Like if you have them all lined up, they look very, I guess, neat and organized on your shelf, very simple. Or if you want to display one, it looks pretty cool, I think. So yeah, let's open this up. Okay, so blank there, and we actually have a bit of more info. Oh yeah, I forgot to show the back. The back is just plain, by the way. So on one of the sides, after we lift the lid up, yeah, it's basically got like social media stuff. So it's got, you know, information on how you can like share your puzzling experience. And yeah, there's social medias, and it's actually got a little QR code, and it says, get exclusive deals and offers at cloudberries.co.uk. Yeah, so inside we have the bag of puzzle pieces, and yeah, it's just pretty standard. Not really recyclable, this bag. Like once you cut it open, that's pretty much it. But can see a bit of puzzle dust in here, which I know from past puzzling with their puzzles. That's a mouthful. Yeah, they do have a bit of puzzle dust, not quite as much as like Ravensburger. Can't remember how much of a problem or an issue it posed, if any, but I guess I'll be finding out soon. And yeah, like it's put a bit of puzzle dust. The bag's got like little sort of breathy air hole things, so some of the puzzle dust has gotten into the box. But yeah, there's a cute little, a little hello poem. So that's kind of cute. It's got a little poem on here. It says, Cloudberries, you're holding a special puzzle, one that's different from the rest, sustainably sourced, expertly cut and designed to be the best. Feeling stuck, missing a piece, or simply want to chat? Just send us a quick message. It's really as simple as that. And it's got their email contact and a little bit about their company. So that's really cute. Just a nice little kind of makes the company feel a bit more friendly and like, I guess, have a bit of personality. So that's kind of cool. And then in the bottom of the box we have, wow, this looks pretty big. A nice big reference poster. Wow, this one's pretty massive. So, I mean, with this design, I don't think I'm going to need this. It's pretty clear in the box, but I think this would definitely be handy for some of the more detailed designs that they have, like the Epicurean one, or like the Dreamscape one that I got. I think this would this size reference poster would definitely be super handy. So yeah, I'm glad that it comes with that. I have a feeling that some of my older puzzles of theirs didn't come with a poster. Can't remember, but I'm glad that these ones do, so that's cool. Oh no, now I have to fold it up. There we go. Yeah, so pretty simple. I guess like so far my only kind of I guess downside is that the bag's not recyclable. It would be nice if it was just came in like a little Ziploc bag or something, but I'll just end up putting it in one after I finished anyway. And I guess, yeah, a bit of puzzle dust, which I'm yet to find out how much of an issue that's going to be. So let's open this up and have a look at the pieces. Also, I like the size of this box. I feel like some puzzle boxes, although they try to be like more compact and save you shelf space, when you want to like put the pieces in and sort and have a closer look, it's too like squishy. But I feel like this is a sort of nice size, still like compact, but you've got a bit of space to work with. Yeah, so they're very like, I think, standard piece shapes and piece sizes. So yeah, like normal edge pieces. think it's like what you call like a ribbon cut, like a sort of standard cut. Doesn't seem to be anything too crazy. Like it's pretty, yeah, very traditional cut. Yeah, and then, oh, and also like the color and the printing looks very like clear and crisp and very bright. Like I'd say it looks about as bright as it is on the box, so that's good. Yeah, and as for like the piece thickness, it's like quite a chunky feeling puzzle. Like it's very sturdy, not very bendable. Has like a nice, I guess, that sort of grey card backing, so which I quite like. I like that sort of simple, no nonsense back, no paper that's going to peel off or anything like that, so I really like that. And then yeah, so the top is like, I feel like it's quite unusual. So it's fairly low glare, like there's a bit of glare I guess, but it's not super glossy, but it has almost what I would call like, almost feels a little rubbery or silicone-y. It's like quite an interesting feel. Like I feel like the other puzzle company that has similar feeling pieces is some of the Gibson's puzzles. When I've done one of their 1000 pieces quite a while ago, so I don't know if they still do it, it had the very similar feel, like this sort of, yeah, like when I rub my nail across it, it feels pretty like hard or solid, but then when I rub my finger across it, feels, yeah, like a little almost soft and rubbery. It's like weird, but in a good way. Yeah, just different. Like, so I kind of like that. Like it means you can kind of grip them. They're not gonna maybe slide around too much, although that could pose problems in that they might stick to each other a little bit. I'm not too sure. But they seem like the pieces move around pretty easily in the box. Like, so when I'm trying to search for things, I think it'll be pretty easy. Yeah. So yeah, so there's a few pieces that are stuck together, but I've seen that happens a lot. Like they're cut properly, they're just getting a bit stuck into each other from moving around in the bag, I guess. But easily remedied. Yeah, so it looks like really pretty colorful pieces. So yeah, I'm looking forward to piecing this one together. So yeah, in a sec, how about I'll start talking about how I'm going to approach this and start sorting the pieces. All right, so I've got my handy foam core puzzle board out and I'm ready to start sorting and figuring out how I'm going to approach this. So what I'm thinking is I might, well, I think I'm definitely going to pull out all the edge or border pieces because I think there's enough like variation of things going on and like small enough color sections that I think that should make the border pretty straightforward to do. And then I'm thinking I should probably like pick some colored squares to to start with. So I don't know whether I should like, I'm not sure if I should just start from one end and work my way across, although now I'm sort of thinking maybe it's easier to pull out like just say the green colors, or maybe the yellow actually, because there's only a couple of yellows, so maybe I'll pull out anything that has like yellow on it, yeah, and put them aside separate to the border pieces. So yeah, maybe I'll pull them out at the same time as the border ones, but then put together the border first for the most part and then start putting together the yellow sections. Yeah, so I think I'll start doing that. So yeah. So if like this is a yellow piece, but it's a border, so I'll put it with the border ones, just because I want to do the border first. So I've also got to not get confused and put things in the wrong pile. Sometimes I do that when I am not paying attention or trying to multitask. I'll sort and then sort into the wrong piles, which yeah, is a bit of a problem. Yeah. So I feel like my approach or my plan should work pretty well. I'm not too worried. Of course, like there's going to be plenty of yellow pieces that have like the black hand on it, or like the flower or apple, like the object they're holding, and of course some of the yellow pieces might have the neighboring like coloured square on it partially, so that's fine. I'll just pull out anything that pretty much has yellow on, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, I guess like the tricky part will be trying to figure out which yellow goes to which square, because they're pretty similar actually. Like, I guess this top one's a little bit more goldy yellow, but it's quite a subtle difference, so hopefully I can tell which is which. But I mean, I don't think the total square size or rectangle size is going to be that big, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. So yeah, I'm going to continue sorting out these, whoops, wrong pile, sorting out the yellow pieces and the border pieces, and then I'm going to, yeah, start putting it together. So after I've done the yellow, I'll probably pick another couple colors, like maybe this sort of tealy blues and the greens or something, whatever takes my fancy, I guess. And yeah, so I'll probably puzzle for a while, and then yeah, maybe I'll come back maybe around halfway or just partway through, and we can have a bit of a chat about how it's going, what the progress looks like, and yeah, so I guess I'll see you after a bit of puzzling. It's the next day now, and before I continue on with puzzling, I thought we'd have a quick chat about how things have gone so far. So I probably spent, I think it was about 2 hours, 45 minutes, around that amount of time yesterday on sorting and getting to this point in the puzzle. I think that's not too bad, although I felt like at the start things were fairly slow trying to put things together, slower than I thought. I was expecting this to be really simple, and for the most part it is, but like some of the sort of shadow or black hands get a bit tricky figuring out where fingers and things go. And especially because like the hands aren't solid black, they sort of kind of have a bit of like, I guess, shading in it, and a bit of like color peeping through like the fingers and things, like finger gaps and things like that. But sometimes they're hard to tell like which green goes on which part and things like that. Yeah, and I think I was even mistaking like some lime green for yellow. So there were a bit of, yeah, some tricky parts. But as I progressed, it seemed to just get faster and faster. I mean, I guess partly for the reason that there were just less pieces to deal with. So there's that. But I think also I'd sort of grown a bit more familiar with how things were fitting together. And then, yeah, speaking of fit and the actual puzzling experience, the fit's pretty good, like seems to hold together pretty nicely. So like you can like take things apart fairly easily, but then they still sections can stay together pretty well. So you can like, potentially you could even do all these sections on their own before assembling it if you wanted, because they'd probably stay together pretty easily. So yeah, I like that you can kind of move stuff around nice and easily. What else? I did have like a few false fits though, especially like on some of these border sections, like where two colors meet. There's actually quite a few like sort of pieces, blank, I guess, solid color pieces more or less, that might just have a, you know, mostly pinky red and then a bit of orange, and there's like more than one of those. And so sometimes they'd almost kind of fit in the wrong spot. So that I noticed that like did happen a few times, but it wasn't too major. Like I seemed to figure out pretty quickly that it didn't go there. But yeah, there definitely were false fits at times. And then I haven't had any issues with glare. Like the surface is sort of like, I guess, matte enough that when the light shines on it, it's not too glary, or it's still pretty easy to see what you're looking at. So that's been really good. And then I said there was puzzle dust, and there definitely is. Like I can see puzzle dust on my puzzle board, and even like in the box itself, like when I pull out pieces, sometimes they have like puzzle dust stuck to the top. I feel like this kind of piece, like the surface sort of texture, makes the dust stick to it a bit more easily, so I might have to give it a bit of a wipe before I take photos of it or something like that. And there's definitely dust in the bottom of the box, but despite all that, it hasn't actually like made my sinuses irritated. Like I haven't been sneezing or anything like that. So yeah, even though there's quite a bit of puzzle dust, it doesn't seem to have like posed much of a problem, except for, I guess, getting stuck to the pieces. Yeah, so as for like the next sort of sections, you may have noticed I've pulled out a whole lot of limey green pieces. So I decided that I'm going to probably focus on this green section and this green section next, just because there's only like two of them. So I feel like that shouldn't be too hard. So I figure like let's maybe try and even put some of this together now. So I might bring these over to me because I can't reach that well. I feel like these sort of split color pieces are nice and easy ones to start with, just because, well, you know, you can sort of see what you're doing, I guess. Yeah, so that looks like it fits okay. Yeah, so definitely it's been helpful in doing the puzzle where, yeah, the split sort of color pieces are helpful, and also like these corner pieces where you have multiple colors intersecting make things like a lot easier to figure out where they go. See, like that was a false fit actually, because both these pieces fit in here, but one looks like, if you hold it up, you can see the light shining through it, but also it just looks a little off, like a little skewed, but only if you like look closely. So yeah, you could definitely put it in the wrong spot pretty easily. So that's definitely happened a few times. Oh, breaking my progress. Oh no, that doesn't go there. Disaster. But we know that that's probably going to go there, so that's good. I think, what else? I don't know where that is. It's probably in the box. I thought I'd pulled them all out, but I guess not. And then I feel like this piece here should be easy, because it should be a plain kind of greenish piece, but with a slither of like darkness from the shadow hand. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not going to find that. Puzzling, not going to plan. Oh, yep, okay, here it is. Actually, it's even easier because it has a part of this like red flower on it. So yeah, I just do like, I find like trying to spot little things that can help you identify where things might go just helps puzzling more, helps you to puzzle more easily, I find. Like, I know that sounds simple, but I'm sure that when I first started sort of puzzling, I never really thought to do things like that. Like even this one, it's got a bit of what I believe is the red flower, so that's cool. You know, and I tend to sometimes even work on like more than one section at once, just to try and get things put together. I don't know where this goes exactly. Oh, it's like part of the purple, so yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to, oh, there's another one. I keep seeing more and more things that like can go together, so that's good. Yeah, and there must still be some left in the box, but yeah, basically I'm going to start, well, trying to put more of the green sections together. Also, just to note that like these green sections are pretty similar, but this one more in the center is kind of more like an olivey lime green. It's not as bright as this one, so that actually makes it pretty easy to tell them apart, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue on with those sections, and then I might do maybe these orange ones and even this sort of peachy one, and then I guess try and do the purples, which I think might be the hardest bit, because this purple here and this purple here, the tone of them looks very similar. So yeah, I think those ones might be a bit tricky, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you after a bit of puzzling. So I finished the puzzle, and that last round of puzzling didn't take very long at all. It took about an hour and a quarter. So all up, today and yesterday, I think it only took around 4 hours, which I think is pretty fast for a 1000 piece. So I kind of figured that this puzzle was going to be a more sort of simple and easy to do design. So I think for most people it would probably be a lot quicker than maybe I guess, I don't know what your standard 1000 piece puzzle is, but something that's a bit more detailed, or, you know, that isn't color block sections. So yeah, so I think definitely being these color block sections just made it so much like simpler, more, is that a word? More simple and easy to do. Yeah, but yeah, I really like how it's turned out. It's super eye-catching, really vivid and bright and colorful. Kind of looks quite bold and dramatic with these like shadow hands, but even though like I guess the idea of these like color blocks and these like shadow hands is kind of like bold and simple looking, each section has like really lovely details. So you've got a nicely detailed dragonfly here, and like lots of beautiful flowers, and the petals are really detailed. Yeah, like an orchid here, and like butterflies and fruit, persimmon I think that is, and a snail. Yeah, so it's just like some really lovely details thrown in. But yeah, the more I look at it, it kind of like really grows on me, like I'm appreciating it more and more. But yeah, I really like it. I think it looks awesome. So yeah, so the puzzling experience, kind of repeating a bit what I said during our sort of mid-progress chat, kind of the same things. Like I like the fit generally, but I did find the sort of false fits a bit annoying at times, because I feel like it was reasonably often that it would happen, and I feel like it was just a little bit too easy for it to happen. So, you know, that's a little bit problematic, that there are definitely pieces that can pretty much or almost fit in other spots, but yeah, so that was a bit irritating, but you know, sorted it out and everything went in the right spot in the end, so that was fine. And but yeah, apart from that, the piece fit was good, and I like the sort of the surface sort of this kind of weird silicone-y, like plasticky texture. I quite like that. Kind of easier to grip the pieces, I think, and also made it really like low sheen, like it wasn't glossy at all, so that really helped seeing which colors went where. And what else? And yeah, the puzzle dust, like I can definitely see puzzle dust on my white puzzle board, but yeah, it really was a non-issue, except for at the end my hands actually had puzzle dust, like my fingers had puzzle dust stuck to them and felt kind of weird, so I had to actually go wash them with like soap to get that sort of feeling off. But I don't know, that didn't really bother me too much. It was just a bit unusual, I guess. Yeah, so I think overall I had a like pretty good experience. I mean, I kind of knew what to expect because I've done some Cloudberries puzzles before, and I feel like from memory I've had a pretty similar experience in terms of the piece fit and feel and the puzzle dust. But yeah, even with like some of those small negatives, that's definitely not enough to stop me from doing more of their puzzles. I overall really love and enjoy their puzzles. They always have such a great range of artworks and designs, like by all different types of artists. So, you know, I feel like they have something for everyone. And I feel like, especially, they have a lot of puzzles like this, which I think are really great for like lots of different age groups. So because this is so fun and bright, I feel like you really could like give this to a kid in your family to work on. Like it's totally doable for kids, I think, or if you wanted to do this puzzle with younger family members or friends, like, yeah, I think it's like enjoyable for kids and adults. And I feel like that goes for a lot of Cloudberries designs. Yeah, so their designs are definitely anything but boring, so that's great. And yeah, and I think the quality overall is like pretty high. Yeah, I've never really had any issues with their quality except those small things that I mentioned. So yeah, like, would I recommend this puzzle? Absolutely. I think it was really good fun. I really enjoyed putting it together and love the end result. And I definitely just recommend Cloudberries in general because they're just such a like fun puzzle company. Like, they don't do boring puzzles, that's for sure. And you know that you're going to get a decent quality puzzle no matter which design you pick. So yeah, I'd say go for it. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything, I think. I guess in the comments below, let me know, have you done this Cloudberries, or what other Cloudberries puzzles have you done before? And like, do you like Cloudberries? Do you have a favorite of theirs, or one that you're like really looking forward to adding to your collection? So yeah, let me know your thoughts and experience down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can keep up to date with all things puzzles. And for even more puzzle content, you can check me out over on Instagram at jigsaw_juby. So thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Okay, time for a puzzle pickup. Ta-da!